Hi, this is Doug Becher, agronomist for Brevant Seeds in southeastern Minnesota. Hey, just out doing some kind of final evaluations on some of the corn crop in the area. One of the things that we really dealt with this season, especially that later half of the season, is a lot of disease in both corn and beans. But out here in the corn today, just kind of looking and seeing what's actually there, and what we've been seeing all season is hopefully you can see some of these. But we got a lot of tar spot that's showing up here on some of these plants. You can see the different specs there. We got some northern, which I've never really seen northern quite this heavy in my area over the years. And then you also do have some of the rust, which was probably the biggest newcomer to the area, was the southern rust, along with some common rust that we're seeing in these on these leaves. With that puts a lot of pressure on these plants to try to survive throughout the year. We have seen some of these plants die early. That could be a combination of some of this leaf disease stuff, but it's also probably due to some crown rot issues or some stalk integrity issues. So I did dig up a couple plants, one that was healthy, which would be this one, and one that you could see had died a while ago. And when you actually start looking at that one, first of all, you notice that there's quite a bit of anthracnose that's in this one, which is another disease we're dealing with. But then as you look at the crown here at the base of the plant, and then up through the stalk itself, that it's degraded quite bad, and obviously can be prone to some lodging if we catch some heavier winds. This other one here you can see is nice and healthy yet, still very firm. And the crown is good, and so is the rest of the stalk, where this thing should stand for quite a while yet. But the combination of all this here with that stalk issues and the crown rot and the disease side of it has killed some of these plants early. And so the other thing that'll start really working into some of this as we move along then is you can see that some of these plants and leaves look very black. And what that is just a secondary saprophytic fungi that'll work its way into it, and basically that's the natural decomposition of just dead plant material. But you'll see that across some of these fields as well. So probably the biggest things that we got to take away from this right now is there is some differences in hybrids on how they've handled all the disease and the pressure that we put against it. So get out, look at the fields, do some ret digs, do some stalk integrity push tests, and prioritize the fields as we get into it here the next couple weeks. Make sure that we stay aggressive with it, get this corn out as fast as possible, because in these areas where that disease is that bad and the stalks are deteriorated that much, we will start running into some stalk lodging issues if we don't get this stuff out of the field. And the last thing is always, let's be safe and have a great fall. We'll catch up with y'all later.